Well, as you can see, I've actually made a lot of progress since my first video. I've got the brackets and stuff made, and I spent most of yesterday making this lovely piece of piping from the supercharger to the manifold. I'm particularly pleased with the way I merged it into the manifold plate. I was going to use that other thing I made, but it didn't seem to be terribly elegant to me, and I think when you make things they're supposed to be elegant. So anyway, after a whole day's worth of grinding and tacking and welding and so forth, that's how far I've got. I've got to make the base plate to put my carburetor on today. It's my next project. I want to do something more with that top brace. I think I'll make it into like a Y-shaped piece that picks up to the other mounting on the top of the supercharger. That way I'll take out any potential twisting that it could have. I also think the duct will probably hold things pretty well in place. Anyway, that's coming off today too. I'm going to finish grind a couple of the welds, and when I've got it off, I'll show you how I made the inside of the merged into the flange plate. I spent about 2 hours grinding the inside of that to make it nice and smooth. Well, there's the inside of the inlet pipe. As you can see, it's sort of nicely flared out to meet the Weber 3236 DGB manifold base gasket. Should work quite nicely. Okay, here is my inlet pipe. I cleaned it all up with a flap wheel, and there's my little belt tensioner. So now I'm going to apply a little bit of paint just to make it look pretty. As they say, a coat of paint covers a multitude of sins. That's where the carb is going to sit. I've got the manifold all welded up. I just have to put a little bracket on it to pick up the throttle cable, just to sit about where it's sitting there now. Got a manifold gasket made for there. I've got one made for the supercharger. I'm going to take the top bracket off and give it a little coat of paint, just so that it looks pretty, and I'll trim the end here too so it looks a bit neater. And then it's just a matter of getting a fan belt, which I can't get today, but I'll get everything else hooked up today, and I'm going out tomorrow, so I'll see if I can get a fan belt tomorrow. Then I should be able to do the dreaded first start with the supercharger. Won't that be fun? I've got the inlet manifold and my top brace here, just giving them a coat of paint. And of course, as soon as I start spraying the paint, I discover there's a tiny pinhole that I've missed welding the flange onto the thing. So when the paint's dry, I'll have to fill that hole and then touch it up again. I'm pissed off with myself over missing that. I suppose that's what happens when you custom fabricate things. Right, I have the inlet manifold done. You can see the cable has to have a nice little pigtail curl in it to line up. I've just got to make a new base gasket for the carburetor and bolt it on and get a new fan belt, and then I can give it a test and hope that everything works okay. You never know when you do these kinds of things.